The night my husband threw me out, I was 4 months pregnant, barefoot, and holding nothing but a nylon bag with my Bible and a hospital card. Rain was beating the zinc roofs in Enugu like drums, and the street lights on our closing Independence layout flickered each time thunder cracked. My wrapper clung to my thighs. My slippers broke at the doorstep when he pushed me. Behind him, his mother stood with her arms folded, her face calm, like she had finally won a war she started 7 years ago. Chuka did not look at my stomach. He did not ask if I was okay. He just said, "Go and meet the man who gave you that pregnancy." I begged. I cried until my voice left me. I called the name of God. The gate slammed. The rain swallowed my sobs. If this is your first time listening to my story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, watch to the end, and comment where you are listening from. Tell me what you think, because this story will break you before it heals you. My name is Tami. To understand that rainy night, you have to go back to when love was still soft. I was 23, selling ready-made gowns at a boutique on Ogui Road. I had big dreams but small money. I wanted a quiet marriage, 2 children, and a shop of my own one day. I was not looking for a perfect man, just a kind one. I met Chuka at a youth vigil in our church at GRA. He was 27, tall, with a laugh and a habit of helping old women carry their bags. He worked as a dispatch supervisor for a logistics company in Emene. He did not have a car then, but he had respect. We dated for 2 years. He was patient. He prayed with me. When my father died in my second year at Esut, Chuka paid for the casket wood quietly. When he proposed at Night Lake, kneeling with a small ring in a velvet box, I said yes with tears in my eyes. I thought God had finally answered my childhood prayers. We married in a modest hall in Uwani. My mother-in-law, Mama Nena, wore white lace and smiled for the photos. Everyone clapped. My best friend Amara whispered, "Your mother-in-law's smile did not reach her eyes." I laughed it off. I was in love. We rented a 2-bedroom flat in Independence layout. The first year was sweet. Chuka would bring suya on Fridays. We would gist till midnight. We planned for children immediately. Month after month, my period came. By the second year, Mama Nena started visiting more. Then she packed one Ghana must go and said she came to help us settle. She never left. That was when the poison started. Not in food, but in words. She would tell Chuka I slept till 9 when I had woken by 5 to iron his shirts. She would cry and say I shouted at her when I had only asked if she wanted tea. She would move the soup pot and say I denied her food. Small lies, quiet lies. The kind that sound foolish if you repeat them, but heavy if you hear them every day. Chuka loved his mother. She raised him alone after his father died. He would not correct her in front of me. He would wait and ask at night, "Tami, are you sure you didn't raise your voice?" I would explain. He would nod. But the seed stayed. I wanted peace, so I swallowed a lot. I cooked her bitter leaf soup even when my hands were sore. I washed her wrappers. I greeted her every morning on my knees. Amara told me to stand up for myself. Chuka's younger sister, Ifeoma, who was in her final year at UNN, was the only one in his family who saw me. She would hug me and say, "Sister, don't mind Mama." The 3rd year, the 4th year, the 5th year, no child came. We went to UNTH Ituku Ozala. Doctor said we were both fine, just unexplained delay. I fasted. I went for deliverance. Each time my period came, Mama Nena would hiss and say, "A woman who cannot keep a home cannot keep a seed." Chuka started changing. Work was hard. His company owed 3 months' salary. He started drinking stout with his friends. When he came home late, his mother would have told him a new story about me, that I was on the phone laughing with men, that I disrespected her. I was not. My goal was simple: keep my home, have my baby, proved that love could survive. In our 6th year, things got worse. Mama Nena brought her nephew, Obinna, from the village to stay until he finds work. Obinna was 24, jobless, always on his phone. He would sit in the parlor and watch me. I told Chuka I was uncomfortable. Chuka said I was overthinking. Then in January this year, after 7 years of waiting, I missed my period. I waited 2 weeks, scared to hope. Amara bought 3 test kits, all showed 2 lines. I went to a private clinic at New Haven. The doctor smiled and said, "Madam, you are about 14 weeks gone. Your baby is fine." I cried on that hospital bed. 7 years of shame, of insults, of kneeling altars, and God had finally remembered me. I did not tell Chuka immediately. His birthday was in 3 days. I bought tiny booties. I planned to cook jollof rice, his favorite, and place the scanned photo inside his Bible. I imagined him crying, carrying me, telling his mother to finally respect me. I told only Amara and Ifeoma. Ifeoma screamed on the phone. Amara prayed. 2 days before his birthday, I closed from the shop early to start cooking. I entered our compound with joy in my chest. From outside, I heard Mama Nena's voice on the phone in the parlor. She was crying. Fake tears, the kind I knew too well. She said, "Chuka, come home now. I cannot take it again." I saw her with my 2 eyes. She entered that hotel at Presidential Road with a man. "She is pregnant, yes, but not for you." That is why she hid it. My blood froze. I stood at the door with my bag of tomatoes in my hand. Obinna was behind her, nodding, saying, "I saw them too, Auntie." I pushed the door open. Mama Nena looked up at me, and for a second, her tears stopped. She smiled. A small, terrible smile. I opened my mouth to speak, to show her the scan in my bag, to tell her God had finally blessed us. Before I could, the front gate banged. Chuka walked in. His face was dark. His shirt was wet with sweat. His phone was still on loudspeaker. He looked at me, then at my stomach that was just starting to show under my dress. He did not ask me anything. He did not call my name softly like he used to. He just said, "Tami, pack your things." I did not pack. I fell to my knees instead. "Chuka, please," I begged. "I am carrying your child." I pulled the scan from my bag with shaking hands. He did not take it. Mama Nena snatched it, looked at it, and hissed. "See how she planned this. She brings another man's scan to trap my son." Obinna held up his phone. On the screen was a blurry photo of me at the clinic in New Haven. I was walking beside Dr. Emeka, who held my elbow when I almost fainted after the test. The angle made it look like we were entering a hotel at Presidential Road. "Chuka, I saw them," Obinna lied. 2 days ago. I screamed, "That is my doctor, ask the clinic." But Chuka was not listening. His mother was crying again, holding her chest like she would die. He chose the tears he had known all his life over the wife who had cooked for him for 7 years. He grabbed my nylon bag and threw it outside. He pushed my shoulder. "Leave my house before I do something I will regret." The rain was heavy. The gate opened and closed. I stood barefoot on the wet tar, 4 months pregnant, with my Bible and a torn scan in my hand. That was the night from the beginning of my story. Amara found me 30 minutes later. Ifeoma had called her, crying. Amara did not ask questions. She wrapped her wrapper around me and took me on a keke to her single room in Abakpa. I bled a little that night from stress and cold. Amara carried me to Park Lane Hospital before sunrise. The nurse shouted at me for walking in rain while pregnant. The doctor checked the heartbeat and said, "Madam, your baby is fighting. You must rest or you will lose him." I placed my hand on my belly and promised my child, "You will live, even if I have to die for you." Ifeoma came the next morning with tears in her eyes. She said Chuka had locked himself in the room. Mama Nena was already telling neighbors I ran away with a Yahoo boy. I told Ifeoma, do not tell him where I am. If he wanted the truth, he would have asked. 3 days later, I left Enugu. I could not stay where every woman in the market would point at my stomach and whisper. Amara gave me 4,000 naira. Ifeoma gave me her gold earrings to sell. I entered a night bus to Asaba to find Mama Caro, my mother's distant sister, who sold lace. Mama Caro did not ask many questions. She gave me a mat in her shop at the back of the market. In the day, I helped her sell fabrics. At night, I learned to sew hems on her old manual machine. My belly grew. My back ached. I drank garri many nights so I could save for the hospital card. On a hot afternoon in July, my water broke in the shop. Mama Caro shouted for help. Women carried me to a clinic. After 8 hours of pain, I heard a cry. A boy. He was small, but his eyes were wide open, as if he already knew the world was hard. I named him Zion, because God remembered me when men forgot me. I did not call Chuka. I did not call his mother. I changed my SIM card. I told Mama Caro to tell anyone who asked that I traveled out. The first 3 years were hell. I sold school uniforms for 50 naira profit. I carried Zion on my back to the market. When he had malaria, I trekked 2 hours to the general hospital because I had no money for bike. Amara sent 2,000 naira when she could. Ifeoma visited once a year secretly, bringing pampers and telling me news I did not want. She told me Chuka married a girl called Ada 6 months after I left. Mama Nena chose her. Ada left after 2 years when the business failed and there was no child. She told me Chuka's company sacked him. He borrowed money to start his own dispatch, but Mama Nena used the money to build a house in the village. He was owing everybody. I listened and said nothing. My goal was no longer to keep a marriage. My goal was to keep my son alive and give him pride. When Zion was 6, Mama Caro died. Her children locked the shop. I had to start again. Amara said, come to Lagos. Yaba is hard, but there is market. I carried one Ghana must go, my machine, and my son, and entered another night bus. Lagos swallowed us. We slept in Amara's room for 3 months. I ironed clothes for students. Zion hawked pure water after school. At night, I taught him to read with old newspapers. He was too smart for his age. He would fix broken phones for neighbors. When he was 10, Amara used her thrift contribution to buy him a second-hand laptop. He did not play games. He watched YouTube and learned to code. He started building small websites for tailors in Yaba. He called our small corner Tami Stitches. By 16, he won a national tech competition with an app that helped market women track sales. Investors called. By 18, he got a scholarship to finish online and returned with a foreign partner. By 21, his company, Z-Stitch AI, was valued in millions of dollars. They put his face on Forbes Africa. I watched the interview on a small TV in my shop in Yaba. The presenter asked, Zion, you are Nigeria's youngest fashion tech billionaire. Who inspired you? My son, now, a fine young man in a navy suit, smiled the same calm smile Chuka had when we first met. He said, my mother, she raised me alone on a sewing machine. She taught me that when a man throws you away, you sew yourself back together. I never met my father. I cried right there among the mannequins. Not because I was sad, but because the boy I carried through rain and shame had become a mountain. That same evening, after I locked the shop, my phone rang. It was a number I had not seen in 15 years. It was Ifeoma. Her voice was shaking. Sister Tami, she whispered. Mama Nena has stroke. Chuka has lost everything. The bank wants to take his house. He is in Lagos looking for investors. My hand tightened on the phone. She continued, he has an appointment tomorrow morning at 10 for emergency funding. at this stage AI with your son. He does not know Zion is his blood. He thinks he is just meeting a young billionaire who helps struggling businesses. The world stopped. The sewing machine behind me ticked in the silence. I looked at the photo of Zion on my wall. The same face Chuka once kissed goodnight, now about to sit across a table from the father who threw his pregnant mother into the rain. I whispered, God, tomorrow he will meet the child he chose his mother's lies over. I did not sleep that night. I sat on the floor of my shop in Yaba with the lights off, staring at Zion's photo. Ifeoma's words kept playing. Tomorrow at 10, at this Stitch AI, with your son. For 15 years I prayed Chuka would never find us. For 15 years I also prayed he would look for us and beg. Now both prayers were about to meet in one room. By 6, I was on the road to Victoria Island. Amara begged me not to go. I told her I just needed to see. The Z-Stitch building was glass and steel. I wore a simple Ankara gown and sat in the lobby behind a large plant where the receptionist could not see me well. At 9:58, the door turned and he walked in. It was Chuka, but not the Chuka I married. His shoulders were bent. His beard was grey. His shirt was clean but faded. He carried a brown file that shook in his hand. He looked like a man used to being chased out. He kept adjusting his collar and looking at the fine chairs like they would reject him. My chest tightened. This was the man who pushed me into rain. This was also the man who once paid for my father's casket. He gave his name at the desk. Chukwuma Okoye, I have an appointment with Mr. Zion. The receptionist pointed to the elevator. At 10, Zion walked in from the private lift. My son, 21, tall, calm, wearing a simple black native with his small logo. He did not walk like a billionaire. He walked like a boy who remembered hawking pure water in traffic. He stretched his hand. Good morning, sir. I am Zion. Chuka froze. His eyes stayed on Zion's face too long. He shook slowly. Thank you for seeing me. They entered the glass meeting room. I could see through the wall, but could not hear. Zion listened. Chuka opened his file and spoke fast. He showed charts for a small delivery business. He explained how his first company failed, how he borrowed from loan sharks, how his mother had stroke in the village and needed surgery, how his cousin Obinna ran away with the last money. I watched my son. He leaned forward. He asked questions. He poured Chuka water himself. Then Chuka's eyes stopped on something on the desk. It was a framed photo I gave Zion last Christmas. Me at Mama Carol's shop in Asaba, 8 months pregnant, sewing on that old machine. Chuka stared. He looked from the photo to Zion, then back. Zion noticed. He smiled softly. Later he told me what he said. That is my mother, Zion said. She raised me alone after my father believed a lie and threw her out while she was pregnant. Chuka's hand dropped his pen. His face went white. Zion continued, his voice shaking small. Sir, why did your business really fail? Chuka did not answer at first. Then tears came, a grown man crying in a glass office. He said, I failed because I listened to my mother instead of my wife. I had a good woman. Her name was Tami. She could not give me a child for 7 years. Then God gave us one. My mother told me the child was not mine. She showed me a photo of my wife with a doctor. I did not ask questions. I did not listen. I pushed my pregnant wife into the night in Enugu. I have regretted it every day for 15 years. My hands covered my mouth behind the plant. I was hearing the confession I waited 15 years for, and my son was hearing it first. My knees shook. I wanted to run in and scream, but I stayed. This was not my moment. It was Zion's. Zion stood and walked to the window. He looked out at the lagoon. When he turned back, his eyes were red but steady. I could see the boy in him, fighting the man in him. He wanted to hate, but he was raised on mercy. Mr. Chukwuma, he said, I do not give money because people cry. I invest in people who want to repair what they broke. I will clear your debts. I will pay for your mother's surgery. I will give you a dispatch contract under this stitch. But you must do one thing. Chuka nodded quickly. Anything. Come to dinner tonight, Zion said. At my mother's shop in Yaba, she cooks for every new staff. She believes food tells the truth faster than words. Chuka laughed a broken laugh. I have not had home food in years. They shook hands. Chuka left wiping his eyes, holding a hope he did not understand. I left through the back before he could see me. Outside, Lagos traffic roared, but inside my head was silent. I kept seeing Chuka's face when he saw my photo. That evening, Zion came to the shop early. He found me folding clothes with shaking hands. Mommy, he said quietly, the man who came today, his name is Chukwuma Okoye. He told me he threw his pregnant wife out because of his mother's lie. I could not lie anymore. I sat down and told him everything. The 7 years of waiting, the fake tears, the rainy night, the torn scan. I showed him the small box where I kept the faded hospital card from Park Lane and the tiny booties I never gave Chuka. Zion held the card. He saw his birth date. He looked at me. That is my father, he whispered. I nodded, tears running. Yes. He did not shout. He did not break anything. He sat on the floor beside me, the billionaire in sneakers on cement, and held my hand like when he was 6 and scared of thunder. His shoulders shook once, then he became still. Why did you never tell me? He asked. Because I wanted you to grow without hate, I said. Hate would have made you small. He was quiet for a long time. Then he stood and wiped his face. He is coming here in 1 hour, Zion said. He thinks he is meeting the mother of his investor. He does not know he is walking into the home of the wife he abandoned and the son he never held. My stomach turned. 15 years of pain was about to walk through my door. I looked at the pot of bitter leaf soup on the fire, the same soup I cooked for Mama Nena. Zion touched my shoulder. Mommy, what do you want me to do? Forgive him? Send him away? Before I could answer, the bell rang. Amara rushed in, out of breath. Tami, Ifeoma just called, she said. Mama Nena is in the car with Chuka. She forced him to bring her. She said she wants to see the billionaire who is helping her son. The spoon fell from my hand. The woman who destroyed my marriage was on her way to my shop, holding the hand of the husband who chose her lies to meet the grandson she never knew existed in Lagos tonight. The spoon hit the cement and rang like a bell. Amara was still breathing hard when the door pushed open. Chuka walked in first. He stopped one step inside my shop as if the air knocked him. Behind him, Ifeoma pushed a wheelchair. In it sat Mama Nena. Her fine lace was gone. Her wrapper was simple cotton. Her left hand curled tight from stroke. Her face that once held fake tears now held real weakness. Her eyes found mine across the pot of soup. For 3 heartbeats, nobody spoke. The sewing machines hummed. The bitter leaf soup bubbled. Chuka's mouth opened. Tami, I did not answer. I held the ladle so tight, my knuckles turned white. 15 years fell away, and I was 29 again, barefoot in rain, holding a torn scan. Zion stepped from behind the counter. He stood between me and them, tall in his black native. He looked at Chuka, then at Mama Nena, then back at Chuka. Welcome, sir, Zion said, his voice calm. Welcome, Grandma. Chuka frowned. Grandma, Zion pointed to the framed photo on the wall, the one of me, 8 months pregnant in Asaba. Then he pointed to himself. I am Zion Chukwuma Okoye, he said. The baby you told my mother to go and give to another man. The baby you threw into the rain before he was born. The brown file fell from Chuka's hand. Papers scattered. His knees gave way and he landed hard on my shop floor. He crawled forward, not to Zion, but to me. Tami, God, Tami, he cried. It is you. It is really you. I looked for you for 3 years after you left. Mama Nena made a sound, a choked cry. She lifted her good right hand and reached for me. Her lips moved slowly from the stroke. Forgive. Ifeoma was crying behind the wheelchair. Amara held my elbow. I looked down at the man who chose his mother's lies over his pregnant wife. His hair was grey. His shoes were worn. His shoulders shook. This was not the strong husband who pushed me. This was a broken man who had lived with his choice every night. I did not shout. I did not slap him. I had carried shouting for 15 years and it only made me tired. Stand up, Chuka, I said quietly. My floor is clean. I scrubbed it myself. He struggled up, tears running into his beard. Zion spoke again. For 21 years, my mother sewed uniforms for 50 naira. She trekked to hospital with me on her back. She drank garri so I could eat rice. She slept on a mat so I could use the bed. She never told me to hate you. She told me to walk, so I walked. I built what you could not keep. Chuka covered his face. I am sorry. I am so sorry. Mama Nena hit the arm of her wheelchair, trying to speak. The words came broken. Na, me, I, lie. We all turned. I pay Obinna, she forced out. Take picture at clinic. Give nurse 2,000 to lie, hotel. I fear you love Tami, pass me. I fear she take my son. The shop went cold. Ifeoma gasped and stepped back. Chuka stared at his mother like he had never seen her. Mama, you did this? You destroyed my home? You made me throw my wife away? Mama Nena nodded, tears running down her wrinkled face. Forgive. I felt something break in my chest. Not pain, but the last chain. For 15 years, I thought Chuka did not love me enough to ask one question. Now I knew the lie was bought and planned in my own kitchen. I walked to the pot and stirred the soup. The smell filled the small shop. Bitter leaf. Just like I cooked for her when she called me barren. I carried 2 plates. I placed one in front of Chuka. I placed one on Mama Nena's lap. Eat, I said. You both came to my house for food. Chuka looked at the food like it was holy. His hands shook as he lifted the spoon. Zion watched me. Then he looked at his father. Mr. Chukuma, Zion said, and the name caught all of us. I will not call you daddy today. You did not earn it, but I will give you work. You will start tomorrow as a dispatch rider in my company, not as my father, as a man who needs a second chance. You will report to a supervisor who is 23. You will learn humility. Chuka nodded fast, crying and eating at the same time. Thank you, my son. Do not thank me, Zion said. Thank my mother. She's the reason you are not in jail for abandoning a pregnant woman. I sat down opposite Mama Nena. She could not lift the spoon well. I took it and fed her 1 spoon of soup, the way I fed Zion when he was sick with malaria in Asaba. She swallowed and whispered, You, good, picking. I did not say I forgive you. I did not say I still love you. I said, I am not your daughter-in-law again, Mama. I am Tami. I sell clothes. I raise my son. That is enough for me. She cried quietly, nodding. Chuka reached across the table and touched my hand lightly, scared I would pull away. I did not pull away. I did not hold him either. I let his fingers rest there for a second. I cannot be your wife again, Chuka, I told him, my voice steady. That woman died in the rain in Enugu. But I will allow you to know your son if you stay humble. If you tell the truth from today. Zion placed his big hand over both of ours. For the first time in 21 years, the 3 of us were in one circle. Ifeoma brought water. Amara smiled through tears. For a moment, it felt like healing was finally possible. I looked at my son's face and saw the little boy who once asked me why other children had fathers at school sports day. Then Ifeoma's phone rang loud in the quiet. She answered, listened, and her face changed. She looked at me, then at Zion. It is the security at the gate, she said. Obina is here. He is drunk. He says he has the original video from the clinic 15 years ago. He says if Zion does not give him 20 million naira tonight, he will post it online and tell the whole country that the great billionaire Zion is the son of a woman his family called a prostitute. The spoon in my hand stopped halfway to Mama Nena's mouth. Chuka stood up fast, knocking his chair. Mama Nena made a frightened sound and grabbed my wrapper. Her eyes begged me not to let the past destroy the future again. Zion looked at the door, then at me, his jaw tight. The boy who hawked pure water was gone. The billionaire was standing there now. He said, let him in right now. We will finish this tonight together.